like this shit can easily get solved by a simple conversation, but shit gotta get dragged out.
That last part is how niggas talk about Frieden. See, that's interesting because I've never seen that, and that's also not how I would describe Frieden at all. The way I would describe Frieden is that it is, I mean, we kind of touched on it earlier, that it is a slice of life fantasy adventure series that is about, you know, the idea or concept of taking things for granted, you know what I mean, and you know, appreciating and kind of like living in the moment, you know what I'm saying, like really taking it all in, you know what I'm saying, because like the whole point is the main character, she's an elf who lives for like hundreds of years, but a lot of her companions were humans who, you know, their lives came and went in what felt like a week for her, and she didn't like really appreciate them while they were around, and now she misses them, you know what I'm saying, and now it's all about this journey of like making new friends and making sure that she doesn't take those friends for granted, which I think is like a really cool thing. Like I would never say like, oh, it's like, it takes a certain level of intelligence to like really appreciate Frieden, you know, it's like this slow burn where you really got to think, and it's, no, nigga, it's really not. And that's the thing too, is that I think a lot of shit, I think people are so used to consuming things that are very, very surface level that anytime there's something that goes to like the second layer, it's like, oh, this is so deep, this is so, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, I get you. It's like the niggas that listen to J. Cole.
Yes, exactly. It's like J. Cole's music is not like this super deep, like super like hard to comprehend or understand. I'm like, a lot of the shit he's actually saying is very straightforward and very easy to wrap your head around if you've ever used your brain at all. You know what I mean? Not to say that he can't at time have, you know, certain metaphors or like, you know, allegories in his music or whatever that, you know, do take a little bit more thought or understanding, but that's typically not what his music really is, in my opinion. He's one of those people that like always got, you know, spoken of in that way. I'm just like, that's not who J. Cole is. You really don't have to think that hard. Oh my god, I'm a fucking bum. Never give me the ball again. Wait.
God damn.
He's got it back.
Here we go. I already knew you made that, bro.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know why I decided to block the fan rather than that guy.
Good shot.
They're so good at this video game. Damn.
That's a Uber right there, bro. This nigga made a Tony Allen, bro. Who gets on 2K and say I want to make Tony Allen, bro?
I'm sick.
Not that ass, bro. Nigga got his number on.
Nah, I see it. I did recognize it at
first.
first when you until you said it, but
I know one person.
I also know one person. Y'all ever seen Kenichi? Kenichi is something I've always seen so many like promos of and shit, but never actually watched.
Kenichi,
it.
the Mightiest Disciple. It's pretty good.
I got
Good battle
Yeah.
series. I can't hit a shot right now, man.
Give me that.
There it is.
That's all we needed.
Yes, Ifrit. I definitely think that is the case. I think the anime community is like a cesspool of niggas who think that they're far more intelligent than they actually are. Like they think they're smarter than everybody when in reality they're like a very average or even sometimes below average intelligence. Which is weird because a lot of anime niggas have like this weird superiority complex, or like they just think that they're just so. It's like a lot of elitism. Elitism? Is it elitism or elitism? Elitism.
I think it's elitism.
Yeah, elitism. There's a lot of that in the anime community. Always has been, and I feel like it's only gotten worse.
Have I seen The Elusive Samurai? Nah.
That shit is gas. I haven't watched it myself, but the animation
it does look
is
really
incredible.
cool. Shit, you want to talk about elitism?
I got it.
Fucking series, bro.
I missed.
He whose name I shall not say, bro. It was a nigga in the Dragon Ball community who was very fucking elite.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I ain't gonna say his name, but if you know, you know, bro. That nigga was a super elitist for fucking Dragon Ball of all things,
Swore
bro.
he wasn't.
This shit.
Kenichi's mad nostalgic for me. Watched on the Formation channel. I don't even remember when or where I watched Kenichi. I just know it was a long time ago, and I really liked it.
And it's funny though, cause now niggas hate him. So yeah, foul that nigga.
It's not a foul. What are we doing?
Bring back the 80s.
Good shit, yo.
Gotta finish Daima. Daima's a really good watch. I liked it a lot.
Do that.
I really like Daima quite a lot, bro.
Give me that.
Good.
Oh wait. Give me that.
Hey.
All right. Serious question.
Mm-hmm.
The series done tomorrow?
No, absolutely.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I hope not, but I think so.
Well, my original prediction was Thunder in 6, but Tyrese might not play, and even if he does, he's not going to be himself, which, granted.
I still
think
just
if he
don't trust
doesn't
the Thunder
play-
on the road.
I don't know. Even if he doesn't play, I don't.
You don't think
Like,
it
I don't
matters
know.
one way or the other?
I don't think so.
I don't think they got it in them.
The way that OKC is clicking right now, they need him.
I was gonna say I really.
J-Dub has been getting like better and better throughout these playoffs. I feel like.
I'm gonna say I really think the Pacers fumbled not winning game 4.
Yes, they did.
Like once they lost that game, I'm like, nah, it's over. And it's the way they lost too. That I think that's the most important thing. It's not that they just lost. It's the way they lost. Them leading the entire way through, looking like it was just gonna be a fucking. It was just gonna be a dub, like pretty easily, because they were dominating for most of that game. But
Because I look at it like this: if OKC doesn't win tomorrow, I think that gives Tyrese like enough time to try to put on a GOAT performance. I think so. I don't think you want to lose that.
The thing is, my frustration with Tyrese is that I genuinely believe that he is like a top 15-ish like player in this league, and he's one of the best point guards in the league. But he's just so like
He's super inconsistent in terms
well,
of
his
his
inconsistency
aggression.
comes down because like he's so like risk avoidant. He doesn't like taking risks, and he doesn't like forcing the issue ever. But it's just like in a world where that nigga would just average like 17 shots a game, you know what I'm saying? But he just, I'm not asking the nigga to go up there and put out 30 every night, but like, damn, bro, like, I think last game, J-Dub and Shea combined took more field goal attempts than like the entire starting lineup for the Pacers. It's just like, come on, somebody got to be willing to just go out there and just shoot the fucking ball. You know what I mean? Just get to it.
right.
And it needs to be Tyrese, honestly. That's when they're at their best. Like every single time he comes out aggressive, they win. Did you fuck with Astro Boy as a kid? I've actually never gone back and read or watched Astro Boy. I've always loved like the aesthetic of Astro Boy and thought it was really cool, but I've never actually like gone back to it. I would like to. I've always wanted to collect the manga, but it's kind of hard to find.
I don't have contact link. They give me that
I thought you was about to.
I was not going to be able to dunk that.
I was gonna say good choice.
Yeah,
Nemhard generation.
Pluto. Yeah, I know about Pluto. That's
Yeah, okay.
That's Naoki Urasawa, right? I mean, Pluto's another series I've always wanted to check out. I just never.
Now I was gonna say I think Nemhard got you with a game, but I still don't think it's gonna be enough.
Nemhard has been phenomenal, especially defensively.
Wait, this guy just doesn't leave the paint.
What the fuck? That's a crazy ass thing.
What if I told you I've never actually read anything from Naoki Urasawa? Would you think of me differently?
Oh my god. What the fuck?
It's not surprising, no offense. Now, what do you mean by that?
No offense. Nigga, all the offense is taken now.
Aboard.
Weak.
You don't seem like a big seinen head to me. I'm not a big seinen head because it's just not my cup of tea, or that I'm not into it or anything like that. I just haven't like read that many. The seinen that I have read, I think, are incredible, and I fucking love them. One of my favorite manga of all time is
Good shit.
by Inio Asano. I also really like Downfall, which is familiar with Inio Asano. It's just that shonen stuff is so much more accessible and just plentiful and just more in your face. You know what I mean? So it's just like anyone else, that's just the majority of what I consume.
Pacers need 2 people to score 20 plus this game. I mean, Siakam gonna give you 30 probably. I ain't gonna lie to you. Siakam been hooping all fucking playoffs, bro. No, I was gonna hoop it.
That's what I deserve.
Actually, for a while now, Flytrap, I've been wanting to get into a lot more seinen series because you've been around long enough, and so you've heard me talk about this before. Where, you know, I'm getting a lot older now. You know what I mean? Like I'm still still pretty young, all things considered. You know, as far as life goes, but I'm not a teenager anymore. You know what I mean? Well, I guess you let the internet tell it. I'm fucking hunk, right? 1 foot in the grave. But
hey, bro, I just now started like revealing my age, and niggas is still calling me young, bro. It's over. It's over.
That's not good if they're calling you Unc.
right.
That's what I'm saying,
I'm
nigga.
about to be 31 next month.
I would
man.
say so. You said you've been saying it now. So you're like what, 26?
Yeah, I'm turning 27.
Yeah, nigga, you've just barely stopped being a child. You know what I mean? Like,
And that's Unc status. Fuck.
you know what I mean? Like, I
I'm older
hate,
than Giannis Antetokounmpo, bro.
I hate these young niggas, man. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, like as I've gotten older, there are just a lot of things about like a lot of shonen series that I just don't enjoy as much anymore. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, seeing high school girls in their fucking panties and underwear and shit, yeah, that's hype. Big busty, like, yeah, when I'm also 16, that's great. But when you're no longer 16, that shit's not really something you want to see as much anymore. It's like, like I get it. Like, I'm not the target demographic. This is meant to be enjoyed by teenage boys. I can like look past this. I ain't really, you know what I mean? But it's just like, and then also like, you know, you get jaded to certain like tropes and certain like cliches and everything after you've consumed it so many times, right? So
Right.
the series that I enjoy the most in my life, my all-time favorites like Fully Coolly or like a Solanin, the ones that resonate with me very personally and like very relatable in a certain way. And like Fully Coolly is something that related to because it found me at the right age. Solanin also found me at the right age. And I just feel like if I were to get into more seinen series,
Oh my god.
a lot of those tackle more mature concepts and themes that you probably appreciate more or relate to more as, you know, an adult.
We're the same age. I'm cooked, bro. What the fuck does that mean, bro? You know, I've stunned a lot of people with telling niggas my age. A lot of people thought I
Wait,
was
June,
a
go
lot
for an oop
younger.
here.
I got you.
It
What
never,
the fuck?
It never works from there, bro.
God damn it!
It never fucking works there, bro.
Bro, why'd the AI try to take it from me?
That's crazy.
Nah, I've never read Poon Poon, but I've always heard great things about it. Everything I have read from Inio Asano, I do really enjoy. Poon Poon's one I never got around to, though. I need to read that and Nijikahara Holograph are like two I've always wanted to get into. I also read A Girl on the Shore, which that one is... So I feel you on that. Who said it? Was it Shattered? A Girl on the Shore was a story I really enjoyed, but it was already kind of hard to watch when read when I did read it, because for those of you who aren't familiar with A Girl on the Shore, it's a story about this couple who basically, you know, their lives ain't the greatest. You know, they going through a lot of shit, whatever, and they're coping and dealing with a lot of that by just having like a lot of casual sex. And this is like this really toxic relationship that they're both just kind of like using each other. And the problem is that they're two teenagers, which at the point where I read it, I was already old enough, so I was like, you know, but like the theme and like the message and like the whole story, like it's really good, and like I get it, and it's not just like needless sex for the sake of it. Like there's a reason behind it, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't think I could ever go back and like read that now, because I just don't want to see that. It's like I barely wanted to see it at the age that I was, let alone the age I am now, you know what I mean? So it's just,
How does it feel being older than the PS2?
All right, man.
Shut your ass up, man.
That's crazy.
Shut your ass up, bro.
You could tell me that about the N64 as well. Fuck.
The N64 is 2 years older than me. Funny enough.
But
Actually,
you know
that was
the
what?
Blue Box?
That was 96, right?
Then 64 was 96. Yeah.
2
Blue
years
Box.
older than that.
I'm behind on Blue Box by a bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I do need to catch up to that shit, man.
Good
I was really fucking with the anime, and then I stopped 4 episodes. Hey,
Good shit.
I stopped 4 episodes before the season ended, and then after that, I was gonna pick up the manga.
I do like One Punch Man, but I honestly is One Punch Man still going? I stopped reading it
I
at like
think it
volume 12, so I'm like super mega dummy far behind.
Yeah, I think it is still going on. No, fuck.
What makes One Punch Man seinen? So something to understand, right? Because there's a very common misconception is that seinen is just a demographic, right? So it's not a genre like so many people think. Shonen, seinen, josei, and shoujo are all demographics, which just means that this series is targeted toward a specific group of people. So shonen is for like 12 to 18-year-old boys, and then seinen is like 18 plus. And then likewise for shoujo and josei, it's like, you know, girls 18, 12, 18, and adult women. So the thing with One Punch Man is that like obviously it has a lot of similar shit to like Battle Shonen series, but the target demographic for it is just adults.
Dumbass.
Doesn't really mean much more beyond that.
Tony Allen did not shoot threes, bruh. Can't go past the white line. Yeah, bro, my bad. I got KD feet, bro.
No, I didn't want to do that. Give me that. All right, somebody come here, please.
That's still almost
Man,
clear.
no, he can't guard me here,
I was
bro.
gonna say you got that, bro.
I missed.
They ended up leaving me and went to you. Alright.
Bro, I got 25.
I got 20, bro.
Would Shippuden be considered seinen because of the tags? Nah, Shippuden is just a continuation of Naruto. They're both shonen.
Fuck about it. Man.
And then you have stuff like Attack on Titan, which people think is a seinen, but is also a shonen. Because like people just think like, oh, shonen, it's kiddie battle fighting, and then oh, seinen, it's dark and mature. So it's like, oh, Attack on Titan's got to be a seinen. Like, no, it's not.
Let's get Yuri and Lotus in the NBA. Lotus got a better chance than I do. I'm only 5'10". I'm not built like Jalen Brunson.
They're playing the zone. Doesn't matter though. AI.
Go.
Oh my
Bang.
god.
Broken ass Draymond Green ass jumper.
Good steal. I can't run that fast.
Sorry, bro. The goat out there, bro.
He right here.
You got that. The goat got that.
I missed twice in a row.
I ain't built like Jalen Brunson, bro. I'm pretty buff, but I ain't built like Jalen Brunson is. So
Label mainly just comes from the magazine it's in. Yeah, because like certain series, like you'll have certain manga will get like submitted to magazines and then decline. It's like, you know, we need to put you in this one. Like Attack on Titan, actually. Attack on Titan was originally like what's his name? Hajime Isayama, I believe. He wanted to be in Shonen Jump, but they were like, nah, it's a little bit too much for our magazine. And so they recommended like him going to a seinen magazine. And I forget what magazine actually ended up publishing Attack on Titan, but he just went somewhere else with it. Yeah, so a lot of times it's just a matter of just like, we at Shonen Jump or Shonen Square, whatever, things is a little bit too much. We recommend you take this over here.
A bunch of people think Full Metal Alchemist is a shonen, and it's not. It is also a seinen.
Right.
This nigga Tony Allen guarding me from out there, but I can't just camp there.
Oh, what's that? Death Note was seinen? Death Note, the series that ran in Shonen Jump.
I had some choice words about that bullshit. Hey, bro, speak your mind about the series, bro. What you think?
But see, Chatter, you're not alone on that, right? That's my thing, is that people, for one, there's still so many people that don't understand the difference between a genre and a demographic. And then beyond that, even when they do, they just assume that anything that's like a little bit darker or more mature is a seinen. And anything that's just about titties or fights is a shonen, when it's just not how it works. Should have given it fair. That was a good cut.
It's okay. There'll be more.
First console I actually played was a SNES, but my actual first console I owned was an N64. Yeah, my first console was a PS1, even though that wasn't one I owned. My first owned one. What was the first console I owned, actually? When did the Game Boy come out?
The original Game Boy?
Yeah.
Like with the gray one with the pink buttons?
Mm-hmm.
That was you had that one first? Nigga, I've never even owned one of those.
Yeah, I did actually have that one first.
That's funny.
Then I got a then I got a hand-me-down Game Boy Advance.
I think the original Game Boy came out in, like, I don't even know, like the early 90s.
I don't even know how I ended up with that shit, that original Game Boy, but I had one. And then and then eventually I owned the SP.
That's a crazy blow up. Yeah, JoJo's used to run in Shonen Jump.
Used to?
Yeah, back in the day, it was a Shonen Jump manga.
Where's it at now?
Forget. Ultra Jump now, according to Flytrap.
How'd that come out so late?
I actually wanted to get that to you a lot sooner, but I got that fuck ass. Hey,
Oh, you're good.
Good shit.
I got that fuck ass spin move right there.
I was holding the stick down. The animation didn't start till way later. It's upset.
Board.
Go this way and then back to you.
Run to the paint.
Hey. These names are too confusing. There is a lot of like overlap, so I get it, especially when the word shonen or the word jump are like in so many of the different titles and shit.
Right.
Like once you have an understanding of like what a genre is and what a demographic is, and you know what they each are, it's a lot easier to follow. Plus, like,
All right.
it helps when you just have favorite series that you know, because that's another thing too. Most people just can't name magazines other than Shonen Jump, so they just don't really know. But I just have series that I enjoy that just aren't in Shonen Jump, and I just know the magazines. Like Twin Star Random, like Jump Square, for example.
Both OKC and Pacers fans have been pissing me off of how wishy-washy they are. This shit has been close as hell despite niggas saying OKC was going to blow them niggas out the water. And all it took was Hallie getting injured for both niggas on both sides. Frame one shit on the nigga and glaze the fuck out of SGA and J-Dub.
You know what's funny though? I've seen way more hate from Knicks fans and
Yeah, Knicks
especially, but like Knicks fans and maybe even some Cavs fans and shit than I have from like OKC fans. Like it's particularly like on Halliburton, it's like,
yeah,
y'all niggas is hating from home. Like
I was gonna say, I'm not surprised when it comes to the Knicks fans, bro. Them niggas still hate Trae Young to this day. So
for beating them in a playoff series like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like, that shit was 4 years ago. Y'all are way better than his teams have ever been since then, and y'all still be hating on him, bro. Like, nah, like I'm not surprised them niggas is on Hallie's ass. Like that is why Knicks fans are top five most insufferable fans in the fucking NBA, bro.
Oh, you're good. I just figured that would have been a foul.
That is why I think Knicks fans are top 5 worst fan bases of all time, bro.
I agree.
Because of shit like that.
Knicks,
it's like, bro, get the
Sixers, unfortunately Lakers probably up there. Because they're just
I think it goes Knicks, Sixers, Lakers, Celtics.
Oh, my bad.
And then
I got it.
fuck it. I'm gonna throw these niggas in there just for the fuck of it. Utah Jazz.
What the Jazz did? Just because they got a bunch of racist white people?
Yup.
That's
just
fair.
because of that. Realistically speaking, I don't know who number 5 is.
I don't never see
However,
Jazz fans ever on social media, so
yeah, I gotta say I don't see them at all either. I just do.
They're on
the fact that
Facebook.
they're racist.
That's true.
Nah, like I ain't gonna lie. This is a honorable mention. Probably top 10 worst fan bases all time. Heat fans fucking suck. Heat fans fucking suck, and I would know. Like I can count on my fingers how many Heat fans I've met with a brain.
I don't think the Warriors have like a bad fan base, but it is really annoying like how on Twitter there's just like this constant war between like Warriors and Lakers fans, which is really just like Steph and LeBron fans. I'm like, nigga, like why can't we just appreciate both?
Which is crazy because the niggas is boys and y'all still
hate
like
they because that's the thing is like the rivalry between Steph and LeBron, like yeah, that's a thing, but like those niggas are friends. Like they do like each other and respect each other. But then like you get on like Twitter or Instagram and shit, and like Steph fans and LeBron fans are always at each other's throats. It's like, first of all,
niggas think it's still 2016.
Yeah,
bro.
them niggas don't know y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all aren't involved in this at all. It is a friendly rivalry. Like I don't know, bro. Heat still got fans. You'd be surprised how many Heat fans are out there in the world. There are quite a lot. You know who ain't done nothing wrong, but I just find their fans really annoying. The Wizards, bro. I'm so sick and tired of seeing Wizards fans on my fucking timeline. Like they ain't really bother nobody. I just find them niggas annoying. Like
I'm open. I gotta let this thing fly.
Okay. I tried.
Sorry, bro. They down 5 million points, bro. They ain't winning this game.
I think Chicago fans are annoying. I ain't got no problem with Chicago fans, personally.
I'm gonna say Bulls fans, really? But yeah, I was gonna say New York for a time. I don't know about this now, but like, bro, whenever like the Heat would come to New York and play in either MSG or Barclays, there'd be a lot of fucking Heat fans. You'd hear a lot of Heat chants for them. So surprisingly, the niggas are still hashtag active. But
also, yeah, I did see the Lakers did get sold for $10 billion fucking dollars. Can't even like wrap my head around that.
You saw who bought him out too?
Yeah, it's the nigga who owns the Dodgers.
Yep.
That gave Shohei that fucking like $700 million contract.
Oh, mess.
We are about to potentially maybe see some interesting moves from the Lakers. Who knows, bro? Damn, 232 bombs, bro.
Hating on fans of a team that ain't win 50 games since the Prohibition era. I don't know. I just like for whatever reason, like I've tried to like get away from it too, but for whatever reason, like I get a lot of Wizards tweets on my timeline, which I don't understand because like I don't talk about the Wizards, I don't interact with the Wizards, I don't follow any Wizards fans. But like the shit I get the most is obviously Lakers stuff. Then after that is probably Knicks stuff, which I guess is just because they're just relevant because of the playoffs and shit, right? But like, I get a lot of Lakers, Knicks, Celtics, Grizzlies, Warriors. I get a little bit of everything, right? There are some teams I really don't see. Like I don't ever see shit about the Jazz. I never really see stuff about Charlotte. I never really see stuff about the Pelicans.
I don't see these niggas often, but when I do, Cleveland Cavaliers fans are insufferable.
Bro, that nigga on Twitter, what's his name? Hoodie Garland?
Actually top 5 worst users on the platform.
I've never interacted with the nigga, obviously, right? But I don't think I blocked him, but I definitely muted that account, bro. Like, well, top 5 worst accounts on Twitter, man.
Bro, it's so funny because I'm not gonna lie to you. The list of muted accounts on my end, it's a lot of LeBron fans, and then in between that one fucking Cavaliers. Yo, that nigga is annoying, bro.
Very much so. Also, Omega never did pull up. I know he didn't fuck with us.
Pain.
Yeah, we knew about him, bro. We knew he was racist.
I mean, I couldn't really decipher what the eggplant meant, so maybe, maybe he wasn't coming. I don't know.
It was all in our imagination.
Damn.
I see wizard shit since I'm from here. See, I'm not anywhere near there either. I don't know. I see wizard shit. That's like top 5 things I see the most on my For You page, and I don't know why.
Happy Hornets fans piss me off. What y'all smiling about? Hey, bro. They happy about LaMelo getting some new tats. They happy LaMelo Ball finally spent his VC, bro.
Can't wait for Carolina NBA basketball to be good. Carolina sports teams are just ass. Like, well, actually, I think the Hurricanes is decent in hockey, but like Panthers fucking suck.
No.
Hornets fucking suck. The Hurricanes not decent.
June, they ass, bro.
There's bias in my voice, but
Oh, so you okay? They them niggas beat your team at some point. That's what happened.
oh nah, we smoked them, but
Oh,
it's just I don't like that team anyway.
Actually, I fuck,
good, Masa?
I've never watched them, but I like their logo.
Yeah, they got a cool logo. I hate every Florida sports team.
You don't fuck with like LSU Tigers or like the fucking
Nope.
Gators or the goddamn. I guess you don't fuck with the Heat.
Nope, not anymore.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic, cool.
Magic
bro,
is probably the coolest
we
one.
ain't talk about the fucking Desmond Bain trade.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked
That's
about that. Yeah, that's some bullshit.
I have.
Wait, what does
I've
that do?
I've had so many thoughts. So here's the thing, right? I think at first, like on first impression, right, that seems like a big overpay because Desmond Bain
missed.
is like an all-star caliber player, but it's not even an all-star. You know what I mean? And so you hear like 4 unprotected first-round picks. That sounds like so much. But in reality, when you look at the picks, right, it's like, okay, a lot of those were the Magic's own picks, right? And so the Magic are a great team, and they're a young team. Well, they're a good team, and they're a young team, and they just got even better. So realistically, they should be a shoo-in for the playoffs every year for the foreseeable future, right? Because Paolo and Franz should be doing that. And now with the addition of Desmond Bain, those picks probably won't be like lottery picks or anything. So they probably aren't that valuable. You know what I mean? Assuming things go as intended. And adding a player like Desmond Bain addresses specific issues that they had because the Magic were like a bottom 5 offense, like, you know, terrible offensive rating, like bottom 5 in like 3-point shooting, like attempts and percentage and stuff like that. And he comes in and adds a lot of what they need in terms of like, you know, extra ball handling, shooting off the ball. And he's an incredible pull-up shooter, movement shooter, shoots like 50+% from like the mid range, shoots 40% from beyond the arc on like 7-8 attempts a game. So they need scoring more than anything. They need shooting more than anything. And he provides exactly that while also giving you good defense and being a plus playmaker. I want to say he averaged like over 5 assists a game for like the last few years, right? I feel like I know way more about Desmond Bain than the average nigga does because I watch the Grizzlies a lot, obviously. But I think it's a great fit and exactly what they needed. But I feel like they still need more because they also really need a proper point guard and somebody who can just like set the table and be that floor general. And Jalen Suggs, as good as he is, I don't really think is that. And also, you don't really know if like the jump shot's going to be as reliable as it was like last season, and also, you know, the injuries and stuff, right? But I think it's a good move for them. I feel like they're still a move away from being like real contenders, because I think even though they can probably still be a top 5 defense and maybe now at least like an average offense, I don't know if it's enough. I mean, the East does seem like it's way more open now because obviously Celtics are out of the running. Bucks kind of up in the air. You're not really counting on them. Detroit is still young. You know what I mean? Bulls ain't on shit. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like the Pacers in the finals right now, and they're a great team, but they're not like indomitable. You know what I'm saying? So I like the move for them, but yeah, I don't know. I think the only part that sucks for them is that Desmond Bain is a lot of money, and you know the Magic had like cap space, and now they don't because between Paolo, Franz, and Desmond Bain, you have like 3 like max players now. So you better hope you're at least making like the conference final. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal, right? So, and also one of the picks that they gave up was like that Suns pick that could end up being like a good lottery pick that could jump up. So that'll suck for them, I guess. But
Nigga Desmond Bain finna be putting up 10 threes a game, boy. That's the only 3-point shooter.
it really is. I mean, Jalen Suggs showed that he can be a good 3-point shooter. Franz it's still kind of up in the air whether or not he had like an outlier season or if this bad shooter he's been is who he's really going to be. But yeah, I mean, that's why they traded for KCP, or did they trade for KCP or they just
they signed him.
Right, and they gave him a nice contract. And obviously he had maybe like the worst year he's had in like the last like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a career low for him. Like he wasn't shooting the ball much, and then when he did, he wasn't making it, obviously. And you know, and it worked out because they were able to get off of him and give the Grizzlies a wing, which they kind of did need. But I don't really know. I don't know. The more I've thought about it, I'm low-key liking it more for the Magic than I do for the Grizzlies, because I really don't know what the Grizzlies are going to do from here, because they're the ones that also have to keep making moves and pivot from this. But yeah,
I gotta say, the Grizzlies' direction right now seems very like they don't know what the fuck they're doing right now.
So Grizzlies are, wow, what a terrible shot. The Grizzlies are interesting because I was of the opinion that they were a very good team out west that could compete at a very high level, and maybe weren't necessarily like favorites to be contenders or anything like that, but when fully healthy and with all, you know, everything hitting on all cylinders, they were like a top 3-4 team out west to me, and they were obviously the 2 seed in back-to-back years. Now what I will say is that obviously John Morant has not been the player that he was in that 2022 season, you know what I mean, where he averaged 27 points a game, and I think that was the year he got most improved player, right? And I think that was also the year where they went to the second round after beating Timberwolves in that first round. And it's like these last few seasons has just been like injuries, off the court issues, and then when he is on the court, it still had like flashes of being that superstar, but on a night-to-night basis, this really hasn't been Ja as we knew him or as we expect him to be. And the shooting obviously has left a lot to be desired. But then there's also just had like injuries as well. Like Desmond Bane himself has missed a lot of time. Jaren Jackson, I think, has missed some time, even though he's been there more than some of the others. And then they made the weird trades that they did with like David Roddy and then like Jake LaRavia, I think, as well. And they like actively made themselves worse and then like fired their head coach right before the playoffs. Because you gotta remember, the Grizzlies were a top 3 seed like a few weeks before, you know what I mean? And then they obviously like everything fell apart very quickly. And I still think like there's a lot of context that's being left out of some of these conversations when niggas like, oh, the Grizzlies are getting like usurped and like they weren't contenders. They got to do this. They got to do that. John Morant's not a 1A guy. Like people are like jumping to all these like mega conclusions about the Grizzlies and John Morant when I'm just like, yo, like there's context behind all of this though. You know what I mean? And I do think that they had to make moves. This is a drastic one that I didn't see coming, but I guess Desmond Bane out of your big 3 was the odd one out between him, Triple J, and Ja, where it's just like, I mean, his value is probably the highest it's been so far, you know what I mean? And I mean, shit, getting 5 first rounders as well as 2 players that could potentially be flippable assets. I like Cole Anthony a lot, by the way. I don't know how niggas feel, but I don't think the Grizzlies really have a use for him, but as a player, I like him. Honestly, I wouldn't mind having him on the Lakers just as a spark plug off the bench. I think he could provide some bench scoring that we could really use, even if he has been a little inconsistent. I know I yapped a lot. I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts.
I really like the trade for Memphis because I feel like if they could flip some of those first rounders for another player, like they're going to be in a good position to still have some good picks. And that went off your head. Still have some good picks, and then also have potential assets to trade for like another star. Even if they want to move somebody like a Ja, if they end up wanting to do that, I don't think they should. But
right, I agree. In my also, fantasy land, I would love for them to be able to get KD, but I don't think he's going there.
No, he's not. That's not happening, unfortunately.
I know, but that's where I would love to see him the most, actually.
That would be cool. But yeah, that won't happen. I liked Scottie Pippen Jr. towards the end of the season.
I liked him when we had him on the Lakers. I was sad when we let him go.
Yeah, he was hooping.
Especially
defensively.
I had him on fantasy for a while. Like he was like a waiver wire player for me that pick up certain times, and he played pretty good, I would say, for most of the season. He had some really good defensive moments. He showed his ass against us a couple of times and made it a point to be like, yeah, someone over there didn't believe in us. You know what I'm saying? We talk about Darvin Ham. You know, he's been really good. I'm very curious to know like where they really do go from here, because I like that they were able to get what feels like the king's ransom that they got for Desmond Bane, even if a lot of those picks in reality aren't as valuable as they sound. But with the way the NBA has been working, just the phrase first round pick carries so much weight, right? So even if those picks end up being like the 23rd pick, the 25th pick, they're valuable assets just for the sake of saying we gave up 3 first round picks, we have 4 first round. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, bro, you know how it goes, bro. You know how the saying goes. 5
first round picks. So that's another thing as well, right? I don't know about you guys, but I think Desmond Bane is better than Mikal Bridges, and Mikal Bridges
by fucking far.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get me wrong, Mikal is good, but I think Desmond Bane's a lot better. Now Mikal Bridges is a better defender, but well, he was a better defender. I don't really know if he has been that much better than Desmond Bane since he's been in New York. Even though we know that he can be.
New York Knicks version of Mikal Bridges is not even the same version of Suns Bridges or
Nothing
Brooklyn
amazing
Nets.
happens
Not
here.
even close.
Everything is ordinary.
Also, quick side note, I just want to say we have 9 points and it's halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, this is kind of ugly. All right, though. Give me a second half comp.
Yeah, well, if Lotus could hit some fucking shots, maybe we wouldn't be in such a deficit.
YouTuber.
I'm
What's
0
good,
for
Hub?
7, bro.
Oh. Yo, Dave, thank you for the gift sub. Oh, I didn't even have my daily sub. But yeah, so the Grizzlies, obviously, they now have tons of draft capital. They have Cole Anthony, who some team out there might want to take a chance on and give more opportunity to. They have KCP, who I don't think will be as bad with them as he just was with Orlando. I think with such a dynamic guard in John Morant as well, he'll be getting a lot more of those like wide open looks, whatnot. But I don't know. I really don't know like what kind of lineup they're gonna go with now, because like will they just have Cole Anthony start alongside John Morant? Just have like, or I guess they run. I don't know. Like, do you have Santi Aldama in the starting lineup now, or
I don't know.
yeah, I really don't know where they go from here. Or maybe they start Scotty and have Cole and KCP come off the bench, but I don't know. Like I said,
Pippen Jr. might be a starter next season, depending on how he develops. I think he.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, he could potentially just be the starting 2 guard alongside Ja, which,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good player. He's not an amazing player. I like him quite a lot, but I mean, that's not. I don't know what their plan is now. If like, will they now retool, and are they going to try to acquire, you know, a star with, you know, some of these assets that they have, or are they going to commit to like not being great for a year or two and try to use some of these picks to draft? I'm sorry, June, that should have been to you. All white people look alike. I'm racist, I guess. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It happens. I tried to pass that.
Yo, Dave, thank you for the gift,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know if the Grizzlies try to pivot from here and like continue to try to compete, or if they take a step back for a little bit, if they're okay with being like a play-in to, you know, type like 8 to 10 seed type of team, and then just like we're gonna see what we can get with these picks and try to put someone alongside, you know, John and Jaren.
I can't shoot anymore. I think they need to figure out Triple J's contract situation.
Yeah, because he's gonna get a lot of money.
Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, I think that's their next immediate thing is his contract, and then find out if Ja still wants to be there, which I assume he does, and if they want to keep Ja.
I think Ja absolutely wants to be there. I think it's more so, does the front office still want him there? Do they still believe in him? Do they think he's a good enough player to be the 1A on a championship contention team? Which I think at his best he is, but we haven't seen his best in, you know, over 2 seasons now. So
Yeah, and he's just been hurt like so much these last 2 seasons.
I hate the conversation around him too. I get all the criticism for all the off-court stuff and the injuries, but like when he's on the floor and when he's at 100%, like you still see he's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were gonna Uber earlier.
But the Grizzlies have only won like one playoff
realize.
series in the last 5 years, and it was that series they won against Minnesota, and then they haven't really done anything since then.
Which is funny because even that series, they shouldn't have even won that one.
Yeah, because Minnesota blew like multiple 20-point leads. That was also like, I think, Anthony Edwards' first time in the playoffs, and he played well, but the team around him wasn't that great. Cat was ass. Yeah.
We're shooting 5 for 23 this game. Holy fuck.
Second half count.
We are.
You're
Second
right.
half comp, bro.
Yo, we are 1 for 10 from 3. Hold on. All right, we can.
I got most of them.
I'm leaning forward, dude.
No, I dead ass just sat up. I was leaning back all
Same.
hard and shit. Like
This team sucks.
I dead ass just like put my chair back up. I was slouching, leaning back.
Yeah, I'm locking in.
Because like we got 14, but they also only have 27.
This is true.
So-
They ain't playing that well.
John, that red and purple. You know, I did try to think a lot about other places I could see John Morant playing and what would be a good fit or where I'd like to see him go. If he were to be anywhere other than Memphis, Dallas would be cool. I've heard Miami. I don't really know if that would be best for him, but
Put him in San Fran.
Houston, I think, would be really cool. Want to see John Golden State?
That would be sick.
That would be sick. Especially,
Environment,
especially
yeah,
once
it would
Curry
be
is
nice.
gone and he's just like taking over now. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Wouldn't mind at all.
just playing in
Thank you for
a
another
big
market.
market.
Bro. Appreciate that.
But I would really like to see him in Houston. I think that'd be cool. Only thing is that I don't really know if they got enough shooting to kind of, you know what I'm saying? Don't send John to Miami,
activate
please
it.
no. I like, so for like non-basketball reasons, I don't think John Morant in Miami would be a wise decision.
I also agree with that. I don't think the fit is bad for him, like on the team.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
In fact, I think that helps him quite a
yeah,
lot.
no, I like John and fucking Bam duo. That shit sound gas. Like,
that would help. That would help them a lot.
you know what I'm saying? And like, if you could have Ja, Bam, and Tyler Hero as your Tyler Hero is funny, but you know what I'm saying? Like, basketball wise, it'd be a good fit.
Off the court, Tyler Hero, interesting individual.
Hey, bro, the 1950s, bro.
Interesting individual. So apparently the context to that was he was talking about NBA in particular. But
That makes a lot more sense.
Even then, I'm still like, I don't know, man. But yeah, he apparently that was the context. He was talking about NBA history.
Hey, Flat Trap, don't nobody want to see John Morant around a bud.
Oh yeah, fuck no, bro.
I even think about Ja when you have Terry Rose. All right, nigga.
That's a real terrorist right there. That is a real terrorist right there, bro. Terry Rozier, yeah, nah. Fuck out of here, bro.
That was one of my quickest drop. Oh, that's not beauty. One of my quickest drops in fantasy.
Terry Rozier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't want a superstar in Toronto because y'all know what happened last time. No, I just don't think anyone gives a fuck about the Raptors except Raptors fans.
I fear that's true.
Also, when y'all got that superstar, y'all were actually still a pretty good team. Y'all not.
Yeah, it's just right now as well as like, I mean, y'all just don't have shit to really be excited about. I feel like outside of Scotty Barnes, but even then, it's not like y'all really putting anything around
Yeah,
him.
like, like when y'all traded for Kawhi, y'all were a pretty good team. Y'all just couldn't get past LeBron, which, in fairness, who could? But
what about John Milwaukee?
man,
Like
fuck no.
Alongside Giannis? Nah, they
Hell no.
overlap too much.
I don't know foul if I've ever seen one.
The problem is, as funny as it sounds, like John Morant and Giannis have like very similar skill sets, at least offensively. Like,
Very
obviously,
late.
Ja is a much better like passer and playmaker, but in terms of like their scoring, they want to do the same thing, which is really just get downhill.
Sick.
What do you think Giannis is gonna do? I think Giannis is just gonna stay in Milwaukee and never win another championship.
Nah, never heard of that, Kagame. Not gonna lie to you. Okay.
He's open. He's gotta let that. All right.
They're finna have to pass out to Kyle Kuzma corner threes.
I already thought Kyle Kuzma was buns, but man, where do you think KD is ending up? I think he's actually going to San Antonio, but like, I just don't. It's not the worst place in the world. I just think Houston makes so much more sense. Cause like I just don't see San Antonio as like contenders next season, but I guess that's just not his priority.
This is no disrespect to the new head coach there, but like I think it would have been so much cooler of an idea if Pop was still coaching.
Yeah, I agree with that. So here's the thing, because I've thought a lot about this.
What the fuck?
Kevin Durant's like landing spot is one of like the biggest. You know, obviously it's like one of the biggest stories of the offseason, and he's the biggest like star on the market and everything like this. So I've thought about this a lot. So his like the two most likely places for him to end up are both Texas teams, right? Houston and San Antonio, which obviously taxes, that's a big thing, right? And with him making the amount of money he makes, that's a really big difference maker. So then you go beyond that. It's like, okay, what about the basketball fit? Clearly he wants to be somewhere like Texas where he's, you know, saving a lot of money because he's making fucking $60 million a year. What about the basketball fit? In Houston, I feel like they have a much more ready team that can actually compete at a high level, and he'd be a great fit. They need a go-to scorer. Obviously, KD is still a fucking bucket. But the thing about Houston is they have much more structure there. Obviously, Ime Udoka, he has a system in place. He coaches a certain way. That team plays a certain way. Even though his role would just be go out there and just score as many points as possible, and that's something that we know he's capable of doing and is what they need, I don't think the brand of basketball is what suits him the most compared to San Antonio, where I think it's a little bit more free, a little bit more fun, and just from what I know of Kevin Durant as a player and as a person. I mean, hell, remember the whole reason he went to Golden State is because he said that he just likes the brand of basketball that they play. It's just more fun. You know what I mean? So I feel like San Antonio's likely because they have the assets. They have Stephon Castle. They have the number 2 pick, the 14th pick, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson. You know, they still have Victor Wembanyama, who's obviously phenomenal. Is like a, you know, top 15-ish player himself already, top 20 for sure. And then you have De'Aaron Fox, and you know, depending on what you give up, you may still have Stephon Castle or Dylan Harper. So like, they'll be a good team. I don't think they'll be a contender, but if he doesn't care about that, then maybe that'll just be the place where he can make the most money and have the most fun to close out his career, which if that's the case, then so be it. I just personally would have wanted to see him in Houston because I felt like Houston has a better shot at competing, and I just felt like that made more sense basketball wise in terms of just like, you know, competing. But if his concern isn't getting another championship or playing at the highest level possible, then fucking go to San Antonio, I guess. I also just don't understand why San Antonio would invest what it's going to take to get him unless they thought it gave them a really good chance to compete. But like, they'll be a playoff team, sure. Like, I'd be confident in that if they got Kevin Durant, but it's you're not on OKC's level just because you acquire Kevin Durant, you know what I mean? So
Kyle Kuzma needs to be banned from the league. Hey man,
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, nah, his scenario is really interesting because what was it? Yeah, Minnesota. What was it? Minnesota. He don't want Minnesota.
That nigga not going to Minnesota.
Yeah, he was. The reports is Minnesota wanted him. He don't want Minnesota. Apparently, he want the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets don't want him. The Spurs is like interesting as well too. It's like it don't really fit. And what was the final? Miami. Miami's one of the other teams that
Miami really makes no sense to me.
It also doesn't make any sense,
especially because it's Miami.
I was gonna say it might be because it's Miami. He does have a relationship with Bam and Spo.
Yeah. Also, that being said, going back to San Antonio and Houston. I mean, the nigga did also play in college in Texas, so I'm sure he's got some ties there.
For sure. I think that's the big thing with Miami though, is that he has a good relationship with Bam, and I know he's cool with Spo as well too, because you know Team USA and all that other shit. So. But the thing with Miami is they gotta give up a lot.
They don't really have that much either. I think out of like all the teams that could potentially acquire him, they have the least to offer.
Oh, they do, yeah. Because like a realistic trade package for him, you gotta throw in Wiggins probably.
I think the Lakers are trying to get Wiggins, which I mean, I guess if we could replace Vando with him, that'd be good for us. But outside of that, I don't really know what the thought process is there.
Sending him to Miami is like sending him to hell. He'd make him a lot better, more than likely, but you know.
All right, 10 points. We can do this.
I just want to see what the Warriors try to do with Kuminga and whatnot.
I mean, it feels like he's got to go, right? Because I don't think they're going to want to pay what he's going to ask. But granted, I don't think he's worth what he's going to ask for. But, I mean, you'd like to think that some team would be willing to give him a chance because of the flashes that he's shown where, hey, if I get some opportunity, this is what I'm capable of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I saw reports of, bro?
8-point
I saw
game?
reports of it. I saw reports of if Miami don't land KD, they going after DeMar DeRozan. I said, yeah, chalk it the fuck up, bro.
I like DeMar DeRozan a lot, but what is he doing for Miami?
Nothing at all. He gonna do the same shit he was doing over in Sacramento, just hooping.
The thing is, like, DeMar DeRozan games just don't really like add nothing to anywhere. I love DeMar DeRozan a lot. Like, he's one of my favorite players in the league, but I just don't think there's any team that can really use him.
I keep passing it to fucking AI thinking it's you. I fucking missed it. God damn, why haven't I shot this game, bro? I haven't made a single three.
Please do not put the DeMar DeRozan on my team.
Cool mid-range bucket to aura. Yeah, like don't get me wrong, he's still a hooper, bro. I like his game a lot, but like a team like Miami, like, bro, they barely got space to begin with.
Bro did nothing in Chicago. No, wait a minute. He made all NBA in Chicago.
Nothing is crazy.
I said that nigga. Hey, if Clutch Player of the Year would have been added as an award 1 year earlier, that nigga would have won it that year as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did great. The thing is, like, ain't like they was contenders, but like that team looked really good before Lonzo went down. Like when they had the the Lonzo, DeMar, Zach LaVine shit going, and you know, Caruso there hooping and everything. Like, that team looked really good, and I thought they was going to, you know, at least make the playoffs and, you know, do something. And Lonzo went down, and then everything just kind of fell apart after that. They just really never recovered. I mean, yeah. But the thing is, you never expected him to go there and just be like, oh, DeMar DeRozan going to turn us into contenders. Like, that's not what he was there for. He was there to get buckets. And he did, but...
It was good, Docky. I wonder how the Warriors are going to fare when Steph retires.
I don't want to talk about it.
They're fried.
Why did I get that type of
It's
shot?
going to be a very sad day.
Oh,
Not because they're going to be terrible, but just
Mm.
because Steph will be gone.
They probably won't be very good, though.
No, they definitely will be terrible, but that's not why people are going to be sad.
They're fucking fried, man.
It's just not why people are going to be sad, though.
That's what I was going to say, too. I'm like, Bird not even going to be sad that they ass. He's going to be going that. He's going to be sad that the GOAT is gone.
Yep. I can deal with us.
Jude, no.
That's so real.
I can deal with
that,
it.
bro.
Yeah.
No, it was just 2K didn't want us to win, bro. We just shot amazing last game, and you telling me we don't know our shot right now? That don't make no fucking sense.
No, I feel it, bro. I feel it, man.
Just gonna get on the build they want me to get on. I'm not fucking shooting.
If Curry retires, Curry is cooked. I really think Steph Curry been saving Curry's legacy.
I don't think that's entirely true, but like,
I don't either, because niggas talk about like, oh, when you have these players, like it's the team coaches itself. You don't have to, because that's just not true. Because we've obviously very clearly seen teams that were more talented lose to less talented teams because they got outcoached. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why Celtics lost that first year with Joe Mazzulla against the Heat, because Spo outcoached him. It's a reason why we've seen. I think a big reason why we saw, you know, the Lakers lose to Minnesota this year is because, you know, JJ Redick, he's still fairly young. You know, Finch kind of outcoached him. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that every single year in the playoffs, right? So coaching does matter. And obviously having all-time great, like arguably top 10 all-time players makes a big fucking difference. That helps a lot. But
nice 3-point shot, man. Wish you would have made some more of this game.
I think Steve Kerr has to go down as like an all-time great coach. You don't get 4 championships just because you have some really good players. Even though they did have one of the greatest teams of all time, like it takes more than just having superstar players. Because we didn't see teams with a lot of talent not do anything with it. That being said, these last like 2 seasons, I don't know. That nigga might be washed.
I mean, the other thing is that he's mentioned in interviews in the past that like when the trio breaks up of like Clay, Dre, and Steph, he's most likely not going to coach more. Like, he's content with walking out at that point.
Right.
So I wonder if that will happen, because I think his contract lines up with Steph's and everybody else. So
good night, Short King. Can't lie, if the Pacers don't win tomorrow, it's going to be a bad day for me. Edmonton just lost the Stanley Cup as well.
Hey,
bro, they were not winning that.
You know where
they were fucked.
You see what what was his name? Mike Dunleavy Jr., right? Your GM.
Yeah.
As soon as he see the right on the wall, he's like, "Hey, I'm out. Y'all can handle that breaking up the trio shit yourselves. I don't want no part of that." As soon as he got the feeling that nigga Clay was out of there, he was like, "Hey, y'all figure that out." Steve Kerr said the same shit. Hey man, we had some good times, right? We get 4 chips. Yeah, I'ma sit on that. Y'all have fun. Steph gone, I'm gone.
I think Bob Myers was also hashtag out of there, bro.
I miss Bob Myers.
I think on ESPN now, bro. Wilton Flower.
Oh no, I think Bob Myers is what I'm thinking of. That's who
you're thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, no. Was Mike Dunleavy Jr. the GM before him?
No, he's currently.
No, he's
he's currently? Okay,
now,
I just got it mixed up then.
Yeah. But yeah, I do miss Bob Myers. He was great. Got KD over to us. That was pretty nice. I still remember hearing the news about that. I was with a bunch of friends at GDQ. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is he with us? It was awesome.
I remember exactly where I was when that fucking KD shit happened. I was on a little fucking camping trip or whatever that my fucking parents forced me to go with them to. And the day I was leaving was the day I finally got like service and shit like that.
Mhm.
And I get service and the first thing I see, Kevin Durant to Golden State. I'm like, all right, bro. What is this really
Crazy.
about for real?
Yeah. My favorite championships are still for this era. The first
Nothing
one and the
amazing
fourth one.
happens here. Everything is ordinary.
Like the ones with KD were nice, but like they were almost like foregone conclusions.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I know a Warriors fan like you with a brain.
Yo, hi, thank you for the
can
resub, homie. I
understand,
greatly
like,
appreciate
hey,
that.
Nah, these don't hit nearly as hard as
No.
the other ones did.
Like the first one was incredible because it's the first one I've ever seen in my lifetime. And then the second one we got was cool because it was like the revenge tour against Cleveland. The third one was really boring. It was
That
like
shit,
we knew
that-
already. It was foregone conclusion.
That right there is definitely up there for one of the worst finals of all time.